Hey crafty friends, it's Rick. I'm back with another video for Missing Stamps. Today we're going to be using the Owl stamp set, the Magic World stamp set, and the Stone Wall Stencil to create a mixed media card. To get started, I stamped out the castle, the largest one from the Magic World stamp set, on some masking paper. And we are going to peel that off. And we're going to add it to our piece of Bristol smooth cardstock. I'm just going to add it right in the center. And I'm going to press that down. Give that a good press. And then we're going to add some ink blending. So I'm going to start off with a light orange color. And I'm going to kind of pull that off. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to get some color down on our background. Start off with this color. I may add some more ink. We're going to go with a teal blue. Add a little bit of that. And then we're going to use a little bit of a red. Add a little of that right here. Do want to get a little bit more color down. So I'm going to add just a little bit more to our layers. And it's okay, again, it's okay if it's splotchy. It's okay. It'll be okay. I do want to get a nice bit of color down. We are going to, so we're just going to add finish adding our second layer of color to our image, so that we can get our colors nice and bright here. I think that's good. Now I'm going to take my stencil and I'm going to lay that on top. And I'm going to take my water bottle and spritz it with a little water to activate that ink. Use a towel and press that down. Move that. All right, I'm going to take my heat tool and dry this. All right, I'm going to take and do a little bit of stamping before we remove our mask. I want to stamp just the sentiment back in the back. But we're also going to do some background stamping as well. My scratch piece of paper there. I can stamp off. I have just a little text in the background. I'm going to take my Twilight ink and the stars, and I'm going to stamp a few of those back in our background as well. I'm going to add a few more of our little mountains in our background as well. All right, when we pull in our little owls for our background also. I'm just gonna add a couple. I'm gonna add a couple little letters. All right, so that's all of our stamping. I'm gonna remove our mask. Well, that's most of our stamping. We're gonna remove our mask for our background panel. And I'm going to pull in my stamp positioner. So we're gonna take our castle image and we're gonna try to line that back up as best we can. And we're gonna stamp that in our open space. And if it's a little off, that's fine. It's no big deal. All right, now we're gonna add a little bit of color to our castle. So I'm gonna use a gray to add a little shadow to our castle in little areas. We're gonna do our little base first. Help this stand out a little. So we're gonna add just a little color around. Help this stand out a little. We're gonna add some to our tops of our castle. Just blend that out a little. So we'll do that. All of our little turrets, whatever they're called. I can't remember. So we're just gonna add some shadowing. We'll blend that out a little. Then I'm gonna add a little shadow on this, our left right hand side of our castle. Try to help it, make it stand out from our page a little bit. I'll just blend that little shadow out. Just with our little marker. And I'm sorry that sometimes I am not talking. I get a little into what we're doing and forget to talk. All right, we're gonna add a little shadow up under our tops of our pieces there to add a little definition to those layers. There, little shadow here. I'll soften that out a little bit. Just gonna give our castle a little life, just a little coloring. You could use several different color medias for this. You could use watercolor pencils, markers, whatever you feel comfortable with. So I'm just gonna add some under our pieces there. Where our roofs are. Let's blend that out. And then I'm going to add some green as well. that together. We're going to add some green to our little heels here to make those stand out. Just going to add a light green. So we can just have a little color right there. Add just a little darker green as well. Give that a little more contrast. There. Right there. Over here, make this one a little bit darker. All right, we're going to add some lights on in our castle. So we're going to have this little, add some yellow in there. We're going to color our little door down here. I forgot it. Do our little roof down here. I'm going to come back and add just a little bit of detail work. It's a little darker in places. So we'll just blend that out. So we can have different values in our castle back here. In our little pathway. So we'll add a little color there. Add a little bit more color to my tops of my castle. So we can make that stand out a little more. We're going to add some little dots down through here. Just a little few. Add little highlights to our castle. A few to our little heels. I'm going to add just a little white along this edge. Blend that out with my fingers to make it stand out a little bit more. Get a little haze. A little morning haze going on. And then since this is going to be water down here, we're going to add just a little reflection of our white. Now I'm going to come in with just a little color pencil work to add a little bit more color into our parts of our castle. So I'm going to add a little red I was going to add just a little red into our top of our little house down here, our cottage. I'm going to deepen up my little shadows under here. Help our little, give our castle a little bit more shape. Just deepen up little areas. So we're going to do a little right there. When I'm doing this, I'm looking for areas that are sitting on top of one another. So there would be a natural shadow area. So we're just going to add a little right there under this little part of our castle. Do that side. Just keeping the pressure super light. That's where our shadows would be on our little hills as well. A little shadowing there. Along our shoreline, we would have a little shadow, so we'll add a little there. Do some on our little hill behind our cottage. Deepen up some of these shadows here. Just here and there. Push this one back just a little bit more. A lot of the time when you're playing with mixed media, you've got to kind of just play around and look for those happy little accidents that happen. There's sometimes when you get the best look off of your project. I'm going to add just a little more color into here. Just deepen up that down there. And we'll add just a little white pencil as well to blend that all together. Just gonna soften a little right through here. All right, I'm going to trim this panel down a little, and we're going to add it to a card base. So we've already got our card base. We'll go ahead and fold that in half, and we'll find our bone folder. So I'm just going to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down to 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to mat that with a piece of black cardstock. So we'll mat that with a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of cardstock. So we'll go ahead and Add liquid glue to that. We can go ahead and add this to our card front. And then I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna add some Stardust stickles, little dots around to add just a little bit more magical flair to our card today, as well as a little gold. Just to give it that more of a magical feel. All right, my friends, here is our Magical World Mixed Media card. If you need any of the supplies, I have them all linked in the video description below. I'll see you in the next video right over there. Bye, guys. Stay crafty. Love you.